There may not be any other American composer who's had quite the continued success that my next guest has. It's a rare television appearance for him. He seldom appears, and this is even rarer because he's without his partner, and it's a great privilege, or privilege if you prefer, to welcome on one of his rare TV appearances, Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkle. I gotta say this, is Garfunkel sore, or what is it?
Is he sore at me?
Yeah, you're
no,
seldom
as a matter of fact, he's spending his time these days on a farm in Scotland.
Oh, was this enforced, or does he own a farm?
No, he doesn't own the farm, he leased the farm. He went, after we finished our last album, he got on a freighter and sailed around, and I heard from him in Tangiers, and then he went to London, and now he's in Scotland.
Yeah. But you're still in touch. I mean, there's no problem, I assume.
Well, no problem. I'll see him in a couple of weeks. We're going to do a concert in London.
Yeah.
So
he's becoming a film actor now.
He was in Catch-22.
Yeah. I mean, but he seems to be going on with it. And
well, he'll appear with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
In Jules Feiffer play, Carnal Knowledge.
Right.
Sometime in May, sometime.
Yeah. Does this bother you that he's becoming an actor and you're merely one of the world's most successful composers and songwriters?
No, I think in many ways it's very good that he does that. Yeah. He had this strain that he labored under, which was that I wrote the songs, and so it became awkward. Someone would say, well, if Paul writes the songs, then what do you do? And it's difficult to explain that he does many things. Am I speaking too softly? Is that why the mic just went on?
Am I speaking too often?
No.
Okay.
No.
You know, I don't really know what kind of background you have and all. Were you poor? All the songs, or at least on the latest album, the one that's like, isn't it the #1 selling album in the country now, or has been?
I think it was.
Bridge Over Troubled Water. Yeah. There's a lot of riding the rails and is that Sears and Roebuck again, I think? And all that kind of thing. Is your background that? Were you a poor kid?
No, I was middle class.
Yeah.
I grew up here in New York, in Queens.
Yeah.
So did Artie.
But there seems to be an awful lot of, in the lyrics, a lot of unfaithful girls and girls who never write and never answer letters and do bad things to you. Did you have an unusual number of problems like that, or is that not yourself?
No, I don't. Is that really true?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Maybe I lied a couple of times in the songs. Yeah. I assumed a person that I wasn't. I pretended to be someone else.
I wonder if it's hard when somebody like yourself makes so much success, you know, and makes all that money and that kind of thing. Do you ever find it hard to get back to the things that inspired you at first? I mean, once you become part of a world of riding around in limousines and being terrifically famous and having people asking for your autograph and all that, it would be hard to write, I would think, the original stuff that made you start in the first place.
Well, your world changes, and what you write about changes, I suppose. It's not very interesting to write a song about a limousine.
No.
I'd avoid that, those type songs. Songs.
Maybe it would be.
Do you think it would be easy?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could write about, not everybody who rides around limousines is happy, and you could write it.
I talked to the driver of your limousine coming here.
Really? The yellow one with the off-duty sign on top? Yeah.
He said you were a hell of a nice guy. Brilliant, he said.
Really? Yes, he's not well. Do you think of yourself as anybody's leader, or every time anyone has a big success in the music business, they get a great following of people who really worship them, no doubt about it? Do you like that feeling of being possibly the hero or the leader of a lot of people?
I'm not really conscious of that feeling.
Don't you get that?
No, not really. I don't think that. People write about that. They say that that happens. I don't think really. Music is music, and it doesn't lead you anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think.
This is maybe an impossible question, but anybody who can really create something, there's always a mystery of how does it happen. I mean, there was a moment in time when Bridge Over Troubled Water didn't exist at all, and then there was another moment when it did, or when it started to. Where does it come from? What actually happens? Were you in the shower one day and some of the lyrics came to you, or
No.
how does it?
I could tell you that. But
Could you
take me a minute, though. Do you have to? Are you going to break?
Go ahead. We may
Well-
break, but go ahead anyway.
Oh well.
No, we won't.
Let's see now.
You looking for
Yeah, I'm just looking for my
a guitar? Oh, it's right here. We just happened to put it behind there.
I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'll show you how it actually started. So it started out with me singing a song. The beginning of the song I had. Da 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 da. Now this part. That comes from a Bach piece. That comes from a Bach chorale. Ba, ba, da, 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 dee, da, 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 da. So that was in my mind. So that's how that part slipped in.
Yeah.
Then, when you're really feeling small, do 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 do. I was stuck there. That was all I had of that melody.
What makes you stuck?
I didn't know where. Well, everywhere I went led me where I didn't want to be, so I was stuck.
The best definition of being stuck I've heard in a long time. And then how do you, when you get a block like that, how do you break
Well,
through it?
as it happens, at this time, I was listening to some music by a gospel group called the Swan Silvertones.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this, I kept playing this, it was the music that was in my mind most of the time, and every time I'd come home, I'd put that record on and I'd listen to it. And I think that must have subconsciously influenced me because I started to go to gospel changes. Da da da. And that's how that fell in. And then there was this one song. It was a very up-tempo thing, and the lead singer was phenomenal. He's a tremendous lead singer in this group, and he was scat singing. And at one point he shouted out, "I'll be a bridge over deep water if you trust in my name." And I guess I stole it, actually.
Ah, that's what I've been leading you to. That man is in the wings now with the subpoena. Perhaps this will refresh your memory. That's really something, though, because you always wonder where they come from.
That's how songs happen. They
Yeah.
piece themselves together, and you sit around, and well, sometimes they come very fast. Sometimes you write a song that's a few lines, and that's really the end of the song, and you can't go further.
You can't work back from it?
I have one song that's I just have the line, and I've had it for about a year, and I can't go further with it. I keep changing melodies, but it goes, we go together like Rambo, Bobo. We go together like Rambo, Bobo, Bobo, Baudelaire.
How about, hey Jude, don't let me down? Maybe that would. Wait a minute. We'll be back in a minute. I'm not being any help.